Right, welcome class. Right before the start of the semester. Oh, yeah, share screen last time. Hope I did. Um, cool. Right, so there are a few updates, not too many. I've updated the announcements to inform you that you need to click on this access Revel text box to get access to the digital textbook. There is an instructions guide as well as a video guide on how to get started on that. But the basic premise is when you click on this, and I right clicked and then I opened a new tab. It doesn't set that by default, but it should ask you to log in. Since I've already done the pairing that I needed to do, it shows up with the course right away. So the first time you do it, you gotta log in. You gotta pair your account. I don't know why it says that account, but probably it's just a link. Probably maybe it's the same link. But you click on this, launch courseware, and it'll do the pairing that's going on right now between Blackboard and Pearson, or it might take you to a buy this access to this textbook thing. Once you're in there, it should show you your assignments. Can I switch to student view? I think now let me go to student view. Um, Right, yeah, dashboard. So once you get in, it should look like this. Dashboard tells you what your assignment is. Mine looks a little bit different, but it should show if it's sorted descending, you should probably sort ascending, and it'll show you chapter one first. Basically, there's no grades, no assignments for it, at least on Revel. We're doing all our assignments in Blackboard. So it just kind of shows. I think it will show me that you guys have logged in, and it will show me that you are doing your reading as you go through it. So I'll be informed that you have at least accessed the materials. There are assignments like this, journals. You don't have to do those. You can skip over them. I'm not going to, I guess I'll see them if you write them, but they're not required for the class. We do our class in the discussion. So you can skip over things like journals that are required. Just read it, just read the information. And on that note, I know it can be kind of very anxiety provoking at the start of the semester trying to get all this in and get all your assignments in because it does start pretty fast. If you guys remember the course calendar, we are covering stuff right on the first week. So you're expected to be reading on your own. Just as a reminder, to click on content modules, that's how you will be progressing through this class. The first module is just an icebreaker telling you what you need to do, having you enter information about yourself, just to make sure you know how to do the discussion posts, and telling me why you're taking adolescent psychology online. A lot of times it's just a required course, just good tips on the class. Right, going back into content modules, this will be open on August 30th, so you'll have access to this. Let's just change that. Since I'm releasing this video now, it's pretty prepared for you. So let's go ahead and change that now. And there you go. It's accessible. So now you guys have access to it. Go ahead and click on it. It tells you what you need to do in this module, basically kind of the overview of what's covered. Again, information on the discussion board and how it will create it, making sure that you're giving good discussion posts. I would take note of what the discussion questions are before you start to read. So the first one's about the length of adolescence. You might want to write that down. So as you're reading along, you're like, oh, this is what I need to talk about later, and you'll be more prepared to intake information that you want to put in your discussion later. Adolescent stereotypes, too much time, and the storm and stress scale that will be about chapter two, and then libel and slander online. So all those make a note of that's what's going to be on chapter one. And you can see I actually posted chapter one for you guys just because, again, the stress of figuring out how to get access to the chapter. I don't want you to fall behind. So I might post the first few chapters for you to read in PDF form. You do need to get access to the book, but if that's not something, or if you're struggling with it, we don't know, box of books, financial aid, and all that stuff. it's here for you to read through about chapter one. So this would be if you on Revel would be interactive, right? But because it's a book, uh, it's not interactive. So that's why we're not using those stuff. And lastly, take your quizzes. That's kind of it. And I talked about the quizzes in the last chapter. And mini lectures are in here. As I mentioned, I made a video lecture that kind of covers this text here, most of it. Anyways, I'll do one for actually research message. It is pretty straightforward, so I won't make a mini lecture for that one. I'll talk a little bit about the theories of adolescence. So there'll be like another mini lecture on the theories of adolescence. So there won't be mini lectures, videos on everything. And the mini lectures only cover kind of like big picture idea. So you do need to read. Like reading just the mini lectures is not going to give you enough information to complete the assignments. You have to have access to the textbook, um, and I might have mentioned there's multiple ways to access it. You're supposed to get it with an access as part of your box of books. So it might just, once you link up your Blackboard, you might already have access that way. I'm not sure. Send me an email if you're like running into trouble and send me a screenshot so I know what students are seeing and how I can help with getting access to the book. There's also a physical book. I mentioned that in the reserves at the library, so cultural library on campus. So if you wanted access to a physical book for a short amount of time, you're not really allowed to take the book out of the library, but you can have it in front of you. And if you want to take or scan the book, chapters of the book, so that you can have access to it that way, that's doable as well. You're supposed to have purchased the book to scan it. All right. I think that's it. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the discussion boards. Um,